Hey everybody, welcome back. If you are tuning in to get more information about becoming a home builder, starting to build a spec home, you came to the right spot. So I want to talk about a question that has come up a few different times in the past week, and that is, should I get my real estate license? You know, for those of you who are going to be building a spec home, or who have already built the spec home and you're starting a home building company, the question is, you know, what benefit would there be to me getting my real estate license? So I definitely believe that yes, you should get your real estate license. There's a few different reasons why. Number one, when you build a spec home, you need to market and sell that spec home. Now, you can actually put your spec home or have your spec home listed on the MLS or whatever that multiple listing service database is in your area, but you can have it listed before you even start the house. So you can have a potential completion date in there, because you'll want to put something in there for an occupancy date. You can have all of the details as far as, you've got a blueprint, so you know what all of the room sizes are, what the total square footage is. Because you have not started building the home yet or haven't built it yet, you don't have an actual, you don't have actual pictures that you can use, but you can just simply use the front elevation from the blueprint as the photo of the primary photo for the listing. And then as far as the other photos, you can have photos of the blueprint. You can also just put the blueprint in the documents section, as well as the survey and selections form if you've already done that and you've got things picked out for the house. So even though the house isn't there yet, somebody can get a pretty good idea of everything, the size of the yard, how the home looks on the yard, the number of bedrooms in the home, the layout of the home, because you've got a blueprint on there. One thing I would recommend, the blueprint is very complex and complicated to read. There's tons of different dimensions and numbers, and most people aren't going to be able to look at that and navigate themselves through the layout of the house. So what you want to do is take that blueprint and create more of like a marketing flyer for the house, because you're going to need this anyways to put in the flyer box in front of the house. But it's basically just going to show the outline of the footprint. It'll have the room sizes in there. It'll show where the interior walls are, and that's about it. You want it to be real simple for somebody to be able to look at and not get confused with all of the different numbers and dimensions and what have you. And then you can maybe even get a colored rendering you could use for your primary photo. But that's probably one of the biggest benefits of getting your real estate license, because if you don't have your real estate license and you do want to have your spec home that you have started or haven't started or that is done listed on the MLS, then you're going to have to pay a real estate company to do that. So most realtors are going to charge 6% to list a property for you. Some may be a little bit less, but that's going to be around what you're going to be charged. And out of that 6%, the realtor that's listing the home, or if it's you need to offer a buyer's realtor 2.4%, or it might be 3% in your area, but you need to offer them a standard co-broke is what it's called. So if you go out and get your real estate license, that doesn't mean that you're going to save the entire 6%, because when you're listing your property for sale, for everybody to see, you want to offer that 2.4% or 3% co-broke to realtors that are out there with buyers, because the whole purpose of putting the house on the MLS and listing it is so that you get the maximum exposure. And in order to get that, you want all of the real estate agents that are out there in your area to see this listing, because all the real estate agents, all the real estate companies are looking at the MLS. That's one of their main tools, and a lot of them are probably looking at it daily. So if they're working with a client that is looking in that $450,000 price range, they've been looking for months, they haven't found anything that they liked, and now all of a sudden something pops up, even though it's not even started yet, you're probably going to get contacted by the realtor to get some information for it. Now, if you don't offer a co-broke, that realtor really has no incentive to give their buyer the information on your home, because they've been working with this buyer for 6 months. They've showed them 100 different houses, and now they see this listing for a spec home that you have for sale, and they see that they're not going to get paid on it. So basically they're going to bring in a buyer, they're going to write up an offer to purchase on it, and they're not going to get paid on it. Well, they've been putting in months and months of work. So you got to make sure that you're offering the co-broke, because that's going to ensure that any realtors out there that are working with buyers are going to bring those buyers to you. So that is one of the biggest reasons, because you're going to save, if a real estate agent's going to charge 6% to list your property, and they're going to be offering a 3% co-broke out of that, you would save a whole 3% on, that's more for your overhead once you sell the house. 3% of $400,000 or $450,000 is a lot. I mean, that's $10, $12, $13, $14,000. Just gonna jump in real quick here and mention my consulting service that I have. I'm gonna put the details in the detail of the video. So I'll have my contact information there. I'll have what the monthly amount is for that. But basically, I'll be here to help you through the whole process of becoming a home builder, starting to build a spec home. I'm here for you via phone, email, to basically help you all the way through. So I'll put more info in the details. So just think that you could sell your house for that much less, so you could be more aggressive in the marketplace, or you can just make that much more. So you've got some wiggle room there and some flexibility if you're doing that. One of the other reasons, aside from the money that you're going to save on paying a commission, is if somebody's going to be inquiring about this house, maybe this is your first spec home that you're building. It's crucial that you sell this house. So you don't want to leave the chance. You don't want to chance this in anybody else's hands. So say you hire a real estate agent and they turn out to be just like a complete dud. So little do you know, because you haven't been communicated with, they haven't really updated you on things. Maybe they've been contacted by somebody who wanted to get more information, or by another realtor that wanted to get more information, and they just never got that information back to them. And then those buyers went on and went and bought a different house. You don't want to leave that to risk. So if you are the listing agent, if you're the one that's listing it, anybody that inquires about this is going to be contacting you directly. You can then make sure you're not leaving anything to chance. Invite them over to the house, walk them through the house, meet with them, if you can, because obviously you're going to have a better chance of selling the house, or maybe selling a separate new build, if you have a face-to-face with this person, as opposed to just emailing them info or giving them info on the phone. So that is the second reason why. The third reason why is it's such a great tool to be able to use the MLS. So myself as a real estate agent, one of the first parts in the process, if somebody is out there looking to build a home, is finding the right place to put the home. And a lot of people don't want to really move forward with getting plans designed and putting all that time into something without finding the lot, because they feel like if they can't find the lot and they go ahead and they put all this time into the build process, well, it may all be for none if they can't find the right lot. So for most people, for a lot of people, they want to find the lot. That's one of the first steps. So if you can help them find the lot, you've got a really good chance of being their builder. And even for yourself, if you're going to be building a spec home or a model home, you need to find a lot. So if you're on the MLS and you have access to it, you can search, say I want to build something in Milwaukee County. So I can basically click on, vacant land. This is what I want to search for, vacant land, Milwaukee County. I can then actually pick the different municipalities in Milwaukee County. So say I don't want to build all over Milwaukee County, but only the southern portion of it. I would just select those southern portions of Milwaukee County. You can even select, price range, a whole other, bunch of detailed things, so that when you hit view, all of the lots that are listed for sale pop up in front of you. And you may say, well, hey, I can go to, shorewest.com or remax.com and see that. Well, not really, because not all of those sites are, myself, for example, if you don't pay a certain amount of money for a certain program, if you're a real estate agent, your listings may not make it onto Century 21 or ShoreWest or Remax. So just because something is listed for sale by a real estate agent doesn't mean you're going to be able to see it on realtor.com, shorewest.com, remax.com. Those are all sites where just the general public can go to see it. If you want to make sure you're seeing everything, you need to have access to the MLS. So that is another huge reason, is you want to be able to find the right property for yourself to build a spec home on, and you want to be able to find the right property for your client to build a home on as well. And you want to be able to research. When you click on and you find a lot, you've got the tax key number. You can then take that, you can enter that into the online county map viewer that you probably have in your area to get even more information. You can see topography. You can see a satellite view of exactly what's there. You can see if there's wetlands on the property. You can see who owns it, if they owe taxes. A ton of information you can get there. But on the MLS itself, you can click the map view and you can see an overhead satellite view of the lot and other surrounding lots and houses in the area. And you can click on those lots and you can kind of see what they are selling for, or what other houses in that area have sold for, because that's going to give you an idea. Okay, is it a good idea to put my model home here? Or am I pricing myself out of the area? Same with that client that you're looking for. They want to build this big massive home, and you look at the lot on the overview and you see, a lot of smaller homes around it, and they just, don't compare price point. So it may not be a good idea to have the client build their home there. The fourth reason, this one kind of goes along with the last reason. So if you've got your real estate license, you're able to do a market analysis, which is really important. If you're going to build a spec home, and this is your first spec home that you're doing, you're taking a risk, you got to make sure you're putting it in the right spot and it's going to be the right price point. You don't want to build on a smaller lot that's of lower expense with other homes in the area that say have an average sales price of $300,000, and now you're going to come in and put a spec home there that is going to end up being $425,000. You don't want to be the highest price home in the area. Now sometimes this is unavoidable, because you may find a lot in a neighborhood that is a really nice neighborhood, and all of the square footage amounts align with what you're going to be building, but because those homes were built 15, 20 years ago, they're not going to resale for what a new build is. Building is expensive, so you're automatically, even if a home was built 2 years ago, it's gonna cost a lot more to build a home than it is to purchase that 2-year-old home. So but it's something that you want to look closely at. You want to do your research, and you want to make sure that if you're going to put a certain home in a certain area, it's the right size, it's the right price point. You may have one idea in mind. You've got this plan that you found, it's 2,100 square feet, 4 bedrooms. It's a great plan. You're excited to build it, but it's going to cost, the build itself is going to cost $350 to build. Well, you may find a lot in a neighborhood. The lot's $40,000 to $50,000, and again, the average sales price in that neighborhood is $350. Well, you don't want to put your home up for sale for $400,000 in that neighborhood, because it's probably not going to appraise out, and it just might be a little bit harder to sell there. You want to match up more appropriately with what's in there. So you may have to then retool, and you found this nice lot in a neighborhood, but the home price points are $350. So let's take a different home plan, something a little bit smaller that's going to cost $300,000 to build, and let's put that there, because when you're building a spec home, it's all about selling it as quickly as you possibly can so that you can move on to the next one. So you want to do your research. That's also going to help give you a list price. Ultimately the lot and the build cost are going to have a big determining factor in what you sell your spec home for, but at the same time, you don't want to just be sitting on it. you know, you've got to look at what comparables are, and you've got to factor that into this. So you may not end up making as much as you wanted on that first home, that second home, any home, but you're getting it sold and you can move on to the next one. You don't want to just sit out there at this high price point and not get activity, even though the lot and the home justify the cost that you have it priced at. That doesn't mean that's the market value. You know, market value is not what you spent building the house and what you spent on the lot. Market value is what somebody's going to pay for it. Another big thing, and this will be the final thing I'll hit on, and there's probably more, but you know, if you're helping that client find their property and you've got your real estate license and you're writing the offer on it, you're going to earn a commission on that. The same goes for listing their existing home. This is something that I started doing quite a bit. I would have the initial meeting with somebody that we were going to be building for, and I would let them know, hey, we do also have a real estate company, and if you list with us, we can list for a little bit of a lower percentage because we're going to be building your house. Now you've helped them find the lot, you've got the profit that you're going to make from the home build, and you've got the you know, the commission for listing and selling their house. So it's, you know, it's a triple play there. It's a, you know, you can't go wrong there. And for them, it's nice. It's a one-stop shop. So it's something that I'd say out of half of the people that we build for, we end up listing their home, and they're just, yep, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and have you come over and do that market analysis. And so there's a whole nother, you know, business there for you. It's good to diversify. You're still within the same overall real estate business, but it's nice to diversify and start building a brand as a real estate company as well. So that is another huge reason why, just because you can make some extra commissions. Okay, well, that is going to do it for this video of why you should get your real estate license if you are going to start building a spec house, or if you're going to start a home building company. If you like what you saw here, please comment, let me know, give me a thumbs up on the video, share it with anybody else who you think might have some interest in it. And if you are new to seeing this video, please subscribe, and I'll make sure to keep on putting out good videos. Hit the little bell symbol, that way you get notified when I do put out a new video. Okay, that's gonna do it. Take care and God bless.